shit that doesn't matter, but it's definitely fucking crazy. A lot of crazy shit went on since literally the day we ended, like right after we ended the last podcast, like an hour after that. It got pretty crazy, which we'll get more into later on. But, starting off these Bitcoins, these crypto coins, all this stuff. So, the hot Tuah girl?
Yeah, she's famous now. Everybody knows.
I don't know how
everybody knows
she's famous from an interview or whatever, but apparently she came out with a meme coin called Hawk. I don't know much about this. You want to fill in the people of what actually happened?
So it's kind of a meme in itself that people say, like people like this. Once their like first 15 minutes of fame runs out, they kind of go to like cryptos and stuff like that. But that's what she did. She didn't do it. She's not like doesn't have that intelligence level and knowledge about crypto. But somebody got with her, made sure this is gonna go down.
Yeah.
They launched this coin. I don't know if everybody remembers, the Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, all that shit.
Of course.
Yeah. So there was this guy, CoffeeZilla. Remember him?
Yeah.
So he hopped on this, and he's like, bro, I know how to look at this stuff, and he saw that they were charging like really crazy fees. He's trying to say, who's getting these fees? It's probably her and her team there. And this coin like shot up to like a crazy amount in like 20 minutes. And once it did, boom, all these insiders or snipers or whatever sold it, wiped people out. And you could see, like, if you look at like the background of the coin and stuff like that, the amount that was actually offered to the public was only like 10% or something. So they're buying all that, but really 90% is owned by these other people. So once they sell their 90, your 10's going to be literally zeroed out.
Yeah, literally.
So
that's how these rug pulls work. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they work. And there's tons of them, but, if you're already famous and then you're kind of using your name to do it, it gets a lot of attention that way. So I guess she has fans, diehard fans. Some people said they invest their life savings in that shit.
Honestly, if you invest in that shit, you're a dumbass.
Exactly. I agree with you there.
I don't even know why that bitch is famous. So
it's like it's your own fault. You know what I heard though as well is like she has one of like the top podcasts right now, like female podcasters after Call Her Daddy. I think she's number 2 right now. I don't know. I never heard of it, but somebody said that is true. Cause they're like, what?
She's probably like 2-3 episodes in, so it's like it's easy when
fresh.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. What do you think? You think she goes to jail? I think she gets in trouble for this.
I don't know. Like, can you plead incompetence? Because I'm sure this bitch didn't know what the fuck was going on. But
facts. Somebody didn't know.
I really don't know. I don't know much about this rug pulling crypto shit. I just learned how the fuck it actually works when you just said that. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But honestly, I don't really care what happens with this bitch. I don't care what happens with your money. If you invest in that shit, you're stupid. I really just don't give a fuck, to be honest. Honestly. But that is crazy. It's crazy. I think it's more than the fact that happened, because rug pulls happen all the time. The fact that niggas bought it, I think that's the spectacle we look at here, to be honest. Yeah. That's
There was like an interview. It was like on CNN about this, and the dude's like, "Yeah, I put my whole life savings into it." I was like, I couldn't tell if it was even real. You know what I mean?
You think he was serious?
Just fucking around, being like, like that's stupid, bro. Did you really do that? Like, and he's like, "Yeah, I didn't expect him to get rich quick, but I did think it would appreciate value over time."
For what?
It's like,
was it like an old dude or
no? He wasn't
a young dude.
He was probably in his 30s or something. Yeah. Crazy, dude.
I mean, what value does that bitch have to society? Let alone a coin fee.
But like a lot of people don't know about crypto, and these people, they actually said that their goal was to get the normies, the people that don't know about crypto. So they're
looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin just hit 100K. Exactly. They like, fuck it, we trying to get on the next shit.
Yep.
That's retarded.
A lot of people did that back in the day too, when there was a big run on all these different coins, because people thought there could be another Bitcoin. Which I doubt, but I guess we'll see.
And we can hope. So keep looking, y'all. Keep getting these rugs pulled so I don't have to.
Right.
Another big but crazy news. Jay-Z was accused of raping a 13-year-old alongside Diddy with a female unnamed celebrity accompanying them.
That one on the
And
snooze.
usually, niggas like on Twitter and like TikTok, they'll come up with these conspiracies and say them. But the reason it's on our show right now is because Jay Willard Zeta, no, I don't know. That's not his name. But Jay-Z, he replied like right away. Came out fast as fuck with that reply. I didn't even know an accusation was out until I saw his reply. I was like, what is he talking about? You can tell that nigga wrote it himself in his notes app off his phone. Yeah, what do you think about all this? Like, you was around and like you was like in college when all this supposedly was going down, right? So can you speak to? Because I know people were like, Jay Z would never do that. The type of person he is right now, yeah. I'm like, all right, y'all gotta think about the type of person he was. Exactly. So I don't. So what was it like during that era? Because y'all are roughly around the same age, ish, kind of in the same generation.
Yeah. Well, so there's one thing. Like, what was it like in that era? Like, in terms of, I can't tell you what his lifestyle was like, because that's the thing,
Yeah.
is like when you are that wealthy, and it doesn't matter, especially if you where you come from nothing, and then you have all that money and you can do anything. That ability to do anything is very tempting, especially when that anything is literally anything.
Literally,
You feel like you can do that. So I don't doubt it.
You think he did that shit?
There's stories. I wouldn't doubt it. I would believe it. You know what I mean? I don't like the weird thing is that I don't know personally. I think that's like really like that's like a extra level of fucked up type of thing if you're into like kind of like little kids, which like 13. I'm assuming, who knows? Maybe she looked mature. You would hope so, because other than that, that's like really weird. That's like pedophile type of shit.
You
And
want to know
most
some
people
crazy shit?
wouldn't. I don't think would be cool with that.
The football coach I went to 3 high school, but the first high school I went to when I was at the longest, football coach there, I knew this nigga. Just got arrested, blasted on Twitter. You might have seen this shit for having sex with for basically grooming an underage girl under 16. He making sex tapes with her, picking her up from her parents' house, dropping her off. That nigga's in a polygamous relationship, got a wife and kids. He said he had a fetish about acting like he was the girl's actual daddy. Some crazy fucking her in the office and school. I've been in this office, like, and the crazy thing is like, this school is crazy. This shit's been happening for so long since I was there. Except it was a female teacher's fucking a male student. So it's like, wow, bro, like that's actually insane. But to your point, I think like you said, when you get all that money and out of nowhere have all that power, like, and you go at a Diddy party and you trying to be like Diddy, it's like you might do some shit like that. And I mean, I don't know if he did do it or not. I think, I'm along for the ride to see what the fuck ends up happening. But I will say, I don't think Jay-Z goes down like this. I don't think this gonna take him out for one and two.
So the thing with this though is he was just named in the civil suit of Diddy. So it's not like actually they're coming after him for anything in this instance. They're just saying, yeah, he was there and he did this. And it's a civil suit, so it's not even criminal. And that's the same thing with the Diddy right now. Is his stuff is civil, other than the federal government is actually after Diddy for thinking that he's doing something extra crazy, which
for sex trafficking, right?
Sex trafficking and all that crazy stuff that went behind all that, So yeah.
All I'm gonna say is, whether Jay-Z did it or not, if he did it, that's crazy, and that's not a good thing, obviously. But all like deep state conspiracy shit aside, if we're just looking at Jay-Z face value and what he's doing as a husband, as a father, and as a man in 2024, if he did that shit 25 years ago, I don't know. Do you think he should? What's your opinion on shit like that? Like, niggas did some shit when they were like hella young, from 17 to 20, completely changed their life. Whether they found religion, just actually became a better person, whatever, completely rehabilitated, but 30 years later it comes back and bite him in the ass. Do you send that person to jail? Because it's not really doing anything good for society.
Nah, I mean, so I don't know, something like that. Probably like the statute of limitations shit is probably passed. Like I don't think you know what I mean.
Yeah,
They
or
kinda,
let's say murder. 30 years after the fact. He's a
that's-
completely different person.
It's maybe a little different.
Yeah.
But no, I have my best friend actually. He was a wild dude. You know, we were wild. We were young. Everyone, you know, not everyone, I guess. You know what I mean? I was probably a little crazy.
Enough people.
Tommy's a good kid. He goes to Lehigh and all that shit.
Bro, I was fucking wild.
Yeah. Well,
in high school,
I was college. It only got crazier for us. You know what I mean?
Been too
that's
crazy
the thing.
college.
Because high school, yeah, we were pretty crazy, but
I was like hella
college
crazy
was
in high
just-
school though.
yeah, we were
I'm
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. Like, but me and my buddy, we was wild.
You gotta remember, I'm the YN era.
He used to. You could get away with a lot more back then too, though.
Yeah, that's fact.
You know what I mean? So that's why you could be a little crazier, and even the generation before me, they could do even more wild shit. So like that's the thing too. So,
But I'm just saying, remember that my generation birthed the YNs that you see in Philly with the fucking ski masks on in 80-degree weather. Like, so don't think we ain't do shit.
well, yeah, that's certain people in certain areas, of course.
I'm from the city.
But yeah, but what I was getting to is, like I said, he did a lot of wild shit, and you know what I mean, got caught for some of it, you know, and got a little record, and you know now like he's a father of two young daughters, you know, he owns his own business, he works with kids and all that stuff, but technically he would be barred from buying and owning a gun, you know, because of his past, you know, whatever he did. So he had to like appeal and shit like that because he's a different person. Like, and what he did was like, I think it was like retail theft or something like that. They got him on. Yeah.
So can he get a gun?
It's like going through the process.
It's still
it's a
going
long
through.
process. He has to get like approval from like I don't know, it's like the senator or governor or something crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like high level shit. Like okay, no, I read your thing and I believe it.
And how long ago was this?
Oh, he was like 18, so I was like, you know, like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, so that's why, like, in Jay-Z's case, if he did do this shit, I mean, obviously it's not the same thing as like robbing a store.
Yeah, much worse.
Much worse, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I think that's just a larger conversation people have to think about. Like, how long do you think it takes a person to change? Is there things you can come back from, or is there some things like, nah, it don't matter how much time or what the fuck you do after that, you're this person forever? I think that's just like a larger, more mature conversation you gotta have with yourself and your friends to see where you kind of fall on that. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. We'll keep y'all updated. Do you hope Jay-Z gets off?
Well, they're not going after
Well,
him
do you
yet,
think
so-
that?
so,
Well, all right. Let me phrase that. Do you think there will be a new case against Jay-Z himself?
Nah, I don't. I think whoever they're gonna try with, it's like the same guy who's doing the Diddy one is obviously because this one is still the same one, still the same case. So I mean, if he wins it, maybe if he gets some bread, and that's what he's trying to do, but it's gonna be some he said she said type of stuff. It's gonna be hard to have like evidence. It's so old. I don't know. I think it'll just fade out.
I mean, yeah, we'll see. In other news, as we told y'all a couple weeks ago, Lehigh, they entered the playoffs for the first time in a minute. They won last week, but they lost this week to Idaho, which I'm still like, why the fuck they even played them? Yeah, Idaho lost to Oregon by 10. And speaking of Oregon wins the Big 10. Arizona State wins the Big 12. They were both Pac-10 teams. First year in these freaking divisions, and they win them. This is the first year of the playoffs. We'll see how that goes. But what do you think that means for the future of college football?
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about that, like, because obviously the Pac-10 was probably a decent conference if they're coming into a new one and they're winning their shit. You know what I mean? Like,
So you think it was
those
wrong
were
to get rid
they
of it?
went to the powerhouse conferences and they won. It probably was. I mean,
I don't
gone,
understand.
It's gone
the
forever,
whole,
right?
Like,
It's
I
gone
don't
forever.
understand.
So it's not like you can go back. Like, oh, let's bring it back, man. You know what I mean? So that's a huge decision that they made.
I don't understand the whole division.
It is hard to understand in a lot of ways. Historically, it was based on, it was more regional. But then as things went on, they started like expanding it. You know, like and picking up different teams, and they have different cable deals and things like that, and different amount of money that they can get then. So the thought was that the Big Ten, which is historically like Ohio State, Michigan, powerhouse teams that have a lot more history than a lot of these Pac-10 teams. So I think that's a big factor. And the same thing with like the SEC. I mean, they were winning all the national championships with Alabama. They have Florida.
They dissolved that too. The SEC.
So yeah, that's the major conferences now are the SEC, the Big 12, and the Big 10, which is like 12 teams now. So it's all about money, but you gotta think about that. Like, I don't know why the Pac-10 didn't work. Like, all the history behind it, it just stops. It's kind of dead now. So kind of sad in a way, but I think that the playoffs cool though. I'm down for that. I think it's fucking awesome. 12-team playoff. First time ever in college football that they're doing this. You got to pick, Tommy? You take any bets? Who wins it all?
Well, I'll just say my opinion on all of this. I think Americans are really, history with football. American football is very short, and it's great that American football is an American sport because we can fucking make up rules. We made this shit up.
Over 100 years.
We don't even got 50 or 60 fucking Super Bowls yet. So,
college football before that though.
Bro?
Yeah, where do you think the players came from?
Anyway,
college football.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. It's over 100 years old.
I mean, I don't even know who's in the playoffs. I don't really follow college football too much, but I'll watch a game when they come on because that's the type of I like just watching games. I don't really follow that closely. I'm not that invested